Hey there everyone, welcome to a Minecraft showcase video. Today we will be covering the Bombardier Global 7500 in 5:1 scale. 5:1 scale just means for every 1 meter in real life, it is 5 blocks in Minecraft. A little bit about the Global 7500. The Global 7500 is an ultra long-range business jet that has a range of 7,700 nautical miles. I find it quite odd that the aircraft isn't called the Global 7700, but hey, do it your way, Bombardier. The aircraft was announced in 2010 as the Global 7000, but it was later renamed to the Global 7500. The aircraft first flew in 2016 and entered service in 2018. You can buy one for around $75 million. The planes are produced at Bombardier's Downsview facility near Toronto in Canada. Anyway, let's get right into it. Before we begin, I would like to give a huge shout out to Mateo and Miles. You can find their links down below. This project was their idea. They built most of the aircraft, such as the wings and the nose. I mainly just helped here and there and worked on the aft section and made some of the liveries. Also, thank you to Victor for helping me make some liveries. We only did a few liveries. We tried to stay away from the very complex ones, but we have a few to show you guys, and overall, I think this is one of our best projects. I'm really proud. I think all of us are really proud of it. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So here on the nose section of the aircraft, we have the landing gear in gear bay here. We have the landing lights, the wheel here, the suppression, the gear door to cover up the wheel well here. And here's another part of the gear door that hinges outwards towards the left and right of the aircraft for the wheel to go up into, and then it closes, and this gear door swings up into here. We have some pitot tubes and angle of attack sensors. Not sure what this compartment is here, but it's on both sides. And same angle of attack and pitot tubes on this side. We have a sensor here on the front of the nose. It's more like a camera. It relays information to the heads-up display that's inside the flight deck. Up here we have a little inlet for the window. Not sure what the purpose is, but probably some structural thing. It's pretty much a trademark on Bombardier's Global aircraft. Up here we have the emergency escape hatch, which is right behind the flight deck and just to the left of the entry door here. So it's kind of in between in the galley section. Up top here we have some sensors, antennas, and whatnot. The beacon light, some more probes, communications, I believe most of these are, satcoms. More importantly, we have the door here. We have the little compartment to open the door. We have the handle here. And then this right here is a little flap that equalizes pressure, I believe, between the inside and the outside. We have some more sensors down here. We have the windows on this side, and then there's one extra window on this side in the bathroom. And then we have the emergency exit door here. As I mentioned, the beacon light up top there. And then on the bottom, we have the other beacon light, and the beacon light is just off-centered, which is interesting. Same with these little inlets here, which I believe are for the packs. I could be wrong, I'm not sure. There's some more little buttons down here and sensors. The wheel well right here. We don't have an accurate image of the inside, so not sure what's going on in there. We have the aft section here. So we have a little compartment here that says, I believe there's a avionics might be in here, but I know it's a little storage compartment for like a ladder and a tow bar, some other equipment stored in there. We have another little antenna there, and then here we have the APU bay here, which you open these doors and you have the APU in there. We have the APU inlet, so this pops out and forces air in and then out the exhaust here. Right here we have the cargo door. Pretty big cargo door. And then on either side of the wing box here, we have the fuel compartment and the little light there. Same on the other side here. We have the wing here, so we have the landing lights here. We have the gear door, the gear, as we briefly covered earlier. The flap check fairings. We have the winglet, the nav light, some static wicks on the winglet. We have the ailerons here, and then we have outlines for the flaps and spoilers, and then we have the leading edge of the wing here in aluminum. It stretches onto the winglet. And then on the other side, we have the exits, little marking here from the emergency exit door. Leads down the wing. And then we have the green navigation light on this side. Here we have the General Electric Passport engines. Huge engines. We tried to detail the little ports where you can actually open up the engines, so these little levers here. We have the reverser buckets here, some vents down here, and then what's interesting is that these engines are not flipped. It's just you have one engine, and then you have them on the other side here. So if you look at that inlet, it's on the right side, and that's on the right side on this side. We have some more inlets and outlets here. Same on this side. And we modeled the engine quite realistically, I'd like to say. So here's where you get into all the nitty-gritty of the engines. I couldn't tell you what all of this is, but quite compact, and then it has a very intricate design here in the aft of the engine. Then we have the tail here. We have a little aerodynamic thing, I believe. The top of the tail here, we have the horizontal stabilizer, some more static wicks, and then the elevator on here. So here in the interior, you have the door right here with a little handrail. You have a convection oven, a microwave, and a little cooler down here, I believe. Here's a little closet for, I believe, jackets and maybe some food. Here is a wine glass section here. Then we have I believe this is a coffee machine, could be wrong. We have the sink here, and then some more storage down here. Here is the flight attendant or flight crew rest section, so they get a little seat, a little table here, and a little door for privacy. In the front here, you have a jump seat, and then you have two carbon fiber seats here. You have a HUD here for the captain, the joystick since it's a fly-by-wire aircraft. You have the PFD and MFD, and then you have the autopilot and whatnot. You have down here is I believe there's a screen here for engine performance and whatnot. Some more buttons down here. The overhead panel, and then I believe right up here is the escape hatch. Oh, get in. Continuing on, we have the first cabin zone, which is more like a living room business zone. So we have two big boy seats here on either side with a table. And here's the dining area with two smaller seats on either side here and then one on the other side. Then you can connect this to be one big table. In this cabin zone here, we have a TV room, so you have a TV, some storage down here, and a couch here with a little screen here for the in-flight entertainment and lighting system. And then finally in the back section here, we have the bed, another big boy seat here, closet here, TV screen here, and another entertainment system screen there. And then we have a bookcase here. And then oh, I forgot to mention, up here is a lavatory, which we didn't have too much room, but we tried to model it here. So here's a little lavatory for the flight crew. And then in the aft section here, we have the main bathroom with a toilet and a sink and a closet. So if you go on the inside, you have a little fire extinguisher and some rafts here and a coat hanger up here and a little shelf up here. And then you have a mirror here, and then in the aft section here, you have a cargo door which can be accessed in flight. So you have some shelf here, and then here's a little section that you can tarp up and put whatever you need in there. And then here is the cargo door. That pretty much does it for the base aircraft here, so now let's go into some of the liveries that we have for you. First up is the Bombardier Demonstrator livery, registered November 750 Golf X-Ray. Bombardier had two variations of a demonstrator aircraft. They had a Canadian registered one, and then they got an American registered one, which was 750GX, but it was on a different serial number, and then they sold that global to another company, and then they got a new serial number, so a brand new aircraft, and then painted it in the exact same livery as the old 750 Golf X-Ray. So it's the same as the old one, it's just now on a different serial number. But without further ado, we have a gold and gray stripe going up the fuselage all the way towards close to the aft section. We have text here that says Bombardier. And we have the registration November 750 Golf X-Ray on the engine here. And then on the tail it says Global 750 Golf X-Ray. Now, most of the aircraft that we have for you doesn't have a different interior than the one that we showed you, but we have two special ones, which we'll get to on the next aircraft here, and then we have another special interior for you later on. But this livery, pretty basic, just your standard private jet livery, just a couple of lines going up on the fuselage. Here we have Charlie-Golf Lima Bravo Golf. Here we have it modeled after the flight where the aircraft broke the speed of sound. It was on a proving flight for the Global 8000, so went over the coast of California, did some maneuvers trying to break the speed of sound. I think it's currently the fastest business jet in the market, but they did the test to pave way for the Global 8000 program. So here on the nose we have this is probably an airspeed indicator, you know, measure the air in front of the aircraft. We have the sensor for the HUD. We have some variations in color here on the nose. We have a blue front door here, and then the rest of the gear door is gray. We have this giant gray section here. Green top, red escape hatch. On the side here it says the serial number, which is 70005. It says Bombardier right there. And then on the other side here it says FTV5 for Flight Test Vehicle 5. Experimental sticker there. We have a red door outline here. We also have a red overwing outline there. Gray wings, black emergency route there. We have gray wings, like I said. The aileron here is tan. Tan wings with a gray little color there. We have the flap tracks here, which are this tan color. Green wheel door or gear cover. What is interesting is on the belly, since they change bits and pieces of the aircraft so often, they don't really repaint it. So on the bottom it says Bombardier. It used to say Bombardier, but since they've been switching parts out, they just never repainted it. We have some of the windows are marked and covered. We have the cargo door here, which is interesting is that this engine is a different color than this one. So this section has a black cover here, where this side doesn't. It's all green. We have the registration here. On the tail here, it says Global 7500. We have a blue trim tab. And then we have another probe up here. The horizontal stabilizer here, we have a gray stripe coming down here. And then we have a tannish wing. And then we have little red markings on either side there. We have another extended bit here towards the APU, measuring data. I believe that pretty much covers the exterior. The gray colors here, which is interesting, is that this gray is a different shade than this bottom gray here, and then it switches around here. So we use stone up here, and then we use stone up here, and then this diamond ore, and diamond ore on this side. Pretty interesting. Those gray colors stretch up here, and then a darker nose section, or excuse me, aft section here. Now we can go on to the interior, which we have modeled special for this. So full of flight test equipment here. So on the flight deck here, it's pretty much the same. We just have this orange divider here. Jump seat, we have some sort of pneumatic tank here. Gutted out interior, we have a divider here. There would be screens on left and right for the pilots, since it's a flight testing aircraft. We have water tanks spread throughout the aircraft to distribute weight and simulate what would happen if the weight would shift forward in flight or in the aft in flight. We have some windows that are covered up. We have some pipes scattered about. This window here, I believe, can pop out and equalize pressure, and they can pull out this window in the event the aircraft goes into an unrecoverable stall. We have some more orange tanks here. We have a flight test station. Some computers here. We have a divider here. Another flight test station. We have the exit door here with a little sign there. And then some more tanks here in the back. And then the cargo section back here. Now, we tried to model this interior to the best of our abilities. There's not too many photos of the inside, so we had to do our best. But we tried to piece the bits that we could together. So that does it for this livery. Now let's head on to the next livery. Now, here's where we start to get into our quote-unquote privately owned jets. So first up here, we have Kylie Jenner's jet, registered November 810 Kilo Juliet. She was born August 10th, and her last name, or her initials, are KJ, so it makes perfect sense. But interesting livery here. We have two pink stripes that go up, and then they split into the aft section here. Registration there. And it says Global 7500 on the tail, and then the pink kind of goes into the 7500. Has a little bit of a color change here. Pink winglets. Pretty interesting, pretty cool. Simple but elegant livery here. Pretty cool. Next up, we have Matt Damon's aircraft, registered November 444 Whiskey Tango. This one's an all grayed out livery with white door markings. The wings are gray. Everything's gray. Engines are gray. Tail is gray. Horizontal stabilizers gray. Pylons are gray. All gray livery. Pretty interesting. Next up, we have November 3 Tango Sierra. It's pretty much the same as this aircraft. It's just a different shade of gray. It's a much lighter gray, and then the wings are a lighter gray. Pretty much it's just the same as this one. It's just a different color of gray. Not too much to look at here, but still a neat livery nonetheless. Next up, we have the Fertitta Brothers aircraft, registered November 769 Foxtrot. They also have another one which was delivered before this one, which is November 762 Foxtrot. The Fertitta Brothers own casinos and they own the UFC, so they fly these aircraft all around the country. So we have a tan or a wood color on top here. It's like a tan color, and then we have a darker brown color on the bottom with a stripe going up. All the door markings are in brown, and then in the bottom they're the reverse color, so they're this top color here. And we have a door here. The wings, the top of the wings are supposed to be this top color, and then the bottom of the wings are supposed to be this darker color. But we couldn't really replicate that since the wing gets thin here, so you can't really replicate that. And the wings are really thin in real life, and they're pretty not flimsy, but you can lift the wing and shake the aircraft or shake the wings by using your hand. So they're pretty thin. We have the registration here. It's November 769 Foxtrot, and then this brown color swoops up onto the tail, and then it ends just underneath the horizontal stabilizer. This aircraft mainly flies in and out of Vegas, which is interesting. Next up is Steve Wynn's aircraft, registered November 711 Sierra Whiskey. Steve Wynn is a casino owner in Vegas, just like the Fertitta brothers. Though he doesn't really fly it in and out of Vegas, he mainly flies it into Van Nuys and West Palm Beach. This aircraft also carried around Trump for a while, which is interesting. So there's that. This livery is similar to this one, except the line doesn't increase up the fuselage. It kind of stays consistent, and then it swoops up just like that one, but it goes all the way up onto the tail. So nice turquoise livery here. A little two stripes on the winglets, just like the other one, which I guess I forgot to show, but a little different placement in the stripes there. The registration November 711 Sierra Whiskey on the engines here, and then two more turquoise stripes on the back of the engines here. Next up is 555 Mike Zulu. Not sure who owns this aircraft, but it's a very interesting livery. It's got a black top and then a tannish beigeish color on the bottom, and then the door colors are flipped here, and I believe they are also for the exit door here. Again, the winglets are black, but the wings, the top half is supposed to be black, and then I believe the bottom half is supposed to be tan, but once again, can't really replicate that, so we just stuck with one color here. You have the registration here, 555 Mike Zulu, and then they have their little logo here, which I believe is like an M incorporated into a Z for Mike Zulu, and then you have black horizontal stabilizer here. So very cool, all black livery. Next up, we have Arthur Blank's aircraft, registered November 62 Lima Victor. Arthur Blank is another white millionaire, billionaire, I don't know what he does, but he owns the Atlanta Falcons. So you kind of have their colors here. It's black and red, swooping up onto the fuselage, onto the tail, and onto the engine here, and then you have the registration there, November 62 Lima Victor. You have black, white, and red winglets here, and then on the door here, you have the logos to the company. I believe one of them is the Atlanta Falcons. You have this like black triangle here, and then the red triangle underneath it. Swoops all the way up onto the tail there, like I said. There's another aircraft that has the same exact livery, except I don't believe it has the little logos here. It's 88 Foxtrot Echo. The same livery, just a different registration. Next up, we have a personal favorite livery. Here we have CT Corps aircraft, registered Victor Papa Charlie Tango Charlie. I don't know what CT Corp is, but they have a cool livery, so it's different shades of blue, stretching all the way up onto the fuselage here, and then splitting here in the aft. Blue engines here, You have their logo and name on the tail there, blue stripe or a blue color on top of the tail. Then you have their logo here, and then it says CT Corp underneath. I believe, yeah, it's also on the other side here too. Very cool livery. I like these blue stripes going all the way up on the fuselage here. Also, we have the registration on the bottom of the wing here for the aircraft, which I believe is only on one side of the aircraft. Next up, we have the New Yorker registered Victor Papa Charlie Foxtrot Kilo. We have a black underbelly which stretches up onto the aft section of the fuselage. We have the color switch here on the tail, so it's gray, and then the top fuselage color on the bottom here. I believe it's the same. Yeah, we have a gray outline on this side. I believe the top is supposed to be this tan color, and then the bottom is supposed to be black. Could be wrong. We have black gear doors here. We have the registration on both sides of the aircraft here. And then on the engines it says New Yorker. And then on the tail we have a checkerboard flag that's waving on the tail here, and then the black horizontal stabilizers. Next up we have Foxtrot Hotel Foxtrot Hotel Papa. This one's a pretty interesting livery. It's a blue line that goes throughout the fuselage, and then it kind of has this other blue. It's a slightly lighter blue color that kind of pixelate or fades into this darker blue here. So I try to replicate that by seeing these different colors here. So try to model that here, and it has them on the little gear doors here. And then you have the registration there, blue engines, and then it has a blue horizontal stabilizer and blue winglets. It's a cool livery. It's kind of hard to replicate in Minecraft, but if you look at pictures of it, it's a really cool livery. Next up, we have a lackluster livery here. It's registered Lima X-Ray Papa Alpha Kilo. Nothing much. It just has like a, I don't know if this is supposed to be a flag or what, but it has this little green banner here with a red stripe going through, and then we have, I believe it's like a chalice or something on the tail here, and then the registration there, and then we have that same little logo right here on the door of the aircraft. Not much to this livery, but it's pretty interesting nonetheless. Next up, we have Delta Alpha Papa Lima Charlie. Not sure who owns this aircraft, but I want to say it's Volkswagen. I could be wrong because I know they own Falcon 7Xs, I believe, or 8Xs. I could be wrong. Don't take my word for it. But it's a all gray livery with a darker gray stripe running throughout the fuselage, and then it runs onto the engine here. And it used to, this little gray line used to fan out onto the engines, but it doesn't have that anymore. We have the registration here, and then the German flag on the top there, and then this gray little line kind of fans out onto the tail. Gray wings, gray horizontal stabilizer, exit door here, or exit markings there. And yeah. Next up, we have VestaJet, registered 9 Hotel Victor India Bravo. I had the opportunity to go on this exact aircraft, and we have an interior modeled, which we'll show you in a minute. This livery was made by Miles primarily, and then I kind of flipped it. Mateo did this livery earlier. I just flipped it. But here we have a dark door outline with a red stripe going all the way up, and kind of widening towards the aft section, and it runs onto the aft section here, or it widens out in the aft section, and it's also on the engines here. We have the VestaJet logo on the winglets, And then right here it says VistaJet, close to the door there. And then we have the it says VistaJet, and it has our logo on the tail. And the registration right here. Markings here. Pylons are all colored. So now let's take a tour of the interior. It's only slightly different. We only changed the colors a little bit because they have black and then this little dark oak as their secondary color. Not sure what it is, but all their appliances and stuff are black. Instead of having a crew seat here, on this particular aircraft, they have a little couch here. And then the seats are a different color, and then they have these nice pillows, different colored pillows throughout the aircraft here. They have these gray doors here with a black trim, screen here, different colored couch, which is gray. We have a gray entertainment center here, red bedspread in the aft section, different colored seats, and then the walls on the interior here are a different color than the one I showed earlier. Our last livery to showcase today is Lee Enterprises aircraft, registered Victor Hotel - Lima Oscar November. I believe Lee Enterprises is like I think they're like a big luxury car company. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I know this aircraft flies in Australia, so correct me on that. We have a black door outline, and then the inverse white door here. Black belly with a little yellow stripe going up, down, and then slightly up the fuselage here. Black door outline here. Exit marking here. And then the wings are painted. I know they are painted on the bottom. Not sure about the top, but we just did it on the top as well because it looked cool. So it has this white line, and then yellow, and then black. The winglets here are black, yellow, and white. And I forgot to mention that there's supposed to be a little white line in between the black and the yellow, but you really can't fit that in here. Even in this large scale, you really can't do that. But we kind of modeled it here because it widens out in the aft section. Registration here. Then it says Lee Enterprises on the tail section here. Black horizontal stabilizer. Ooh, did I not flip this text? I guess I did not. Anyway, and then on the belly here, it says Lee, and then it says like Lee Enterprises something, and then the registration on the wing there. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Really hope you enjoyed the video today. If you're wondering if we're making our return to Minecraft, it's probably not. Don't get too excited. We're all pretty busy right now, and we kind of did this like in our free time. It's quite hard for us to all get on Minecraft at the same time and build something. We have a couple of other projects going on, but who knows if they'll ever be completed, so I'm here to get your hopes up now. We may come out with it, but if we do, it's not going to be for a really long time, so don't get too excited. We kind of post our side projects in a JCTV Discord server and the Aero Team Discord server. They're more active there. So if you want to go check out more Minecraft airplanes, go to those communities. Anyway, hope to see you soon. See you in another one. Later.